There were a lot of great games in 2020, but only 5 can make a top 5 list, and that's just first grade math. My top 5 list is probably going to be missing a few key games that you're like, where are they, Sean? Ghost of Tsushima, Final Fantasy VII Remake, etc. Any PlayStation exclusive game, I couldn't play it because I don't have a PlayStation. What do you want me to do? I sold it for this camera right here to up the quality for you at home. I'm not that rich. I can't have all the consoles, but hopefully next gen I will get a PlayStation 5 and the Xbox so I can play all the games, and we can have a better 2021 list, a more fully encompassing 2021 list. But let's go ahead and get right into this. Disclaimer, these are not in order from 5 to 1, 1 being the best. These are in chronological order from when they were released. Just get that out of the way. Whoa, look at number 1 in line, you better do it live! Holy
Number 5.
Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Oh my god, it's Fire Emblem. Obviously, it's amazing. Clearly, we didn't get Fire Emblem in the West for a while. They had it ever since Famicom in Japan. We didn't get it all the way up until GameCube. And then we got a Game Boy Advance game, I believe, as well. And then from there on, we fell in love with the series in the West, right? Fire Emblem does amazing over here. Fire Emblem 3 Houses is no exception, and it even added some stuff to the franchise. We finally get to see our characters in 3D walking around in a hub world type thing, overworld type thing, whatever you want to call it. You get to explore the school in Fire Emblem 3 Houses and see all the characters in 3D, and it's really fun. You find items, you obviously progress your relationships with all the other characters just like any other Fire Emblem game, but it's fun to walk around and see this stuff. Other than that, it's a pretty standard Fire Emblem game, like, oh my god, we gotta get a hold of the mysterious weapon of ancient lore, and all the, oh, the bad guys got it, uh-oh, that type of thing. You go into the battles. It's like a real-time strategy RPG. I don't know what type of RPG it's called, all right? I'm not that big of a nerd. Clearly, look at me, okay? But I am a nerd. Obviously, I'm playing Fire Emblem, so we can go ahead and mark it out. But anyways, I don't know what their type of strategy RPG. I don't fucking know. But they're really cool. Those kind of tactical RPGs are really cool. And Fire Emblem is one of the best, right? So there you go. Fire Emblem 3 Houses. How could it not make the list?
Number 4.
Trials of Mana. Again, I love RPGs. God damn it, this is a classic JRPG, action RPG. Just through and through. It has the class system where you're like, oh, I want to be the knight, and then you go up to like a supreme mega knight with golden armor. You start as a weak-ass knight, and then you become a badass. You're like, ooh, I want to be this girl, I'm like a thief, and then you go into like the mega ultra thief, or a magician, and then you turn into like a warlock. You know, the class system. I love class systems in JRPGs, classic Final Fantasy style. For some reason, I just love that shit. When I get to like, ooh, my character stats went through the roof, and now I've got a dragon with me. This is awesome. It's got that awesome cel-shaded art. It's timeless. It looks great. It plays great. The combat is really fluid and fun and everything. And you get new weapons. You go, oh, look at my stats. They went up. It's got the standard inns, the shops, the NPCs, all this just classic JRPG stuff that I love. It's the first time we got the game in the West, I believe. The original came out exclusively in Japan on the Famicom. We also got the Famicom version in English now. I think that might have came after the 3D remake version. I'm not entirely sure there, but it is amazing, and god damn it, it makes my mouth just water. Thinking of getting a Chrono Trigger remake in this same style. Oh my god. That would be game of the fucking decade for me. I love Chrono Trigger. It's my favorite RPG of all time. Fantastic. Please give us this, Square Enix. I don't know what you're doing over there. It's so easy to do. Just do it, please.
Number 3.
Doom Eternal was an amazing first-person shooter experience. You thought Doom 2016 was good? Well, boy, id Software and Bethesda cranked it up to 11. They really did. It was amazing. Like, you thought Doom 2016 was fast? Oh my god. Doom Eternal, you got a grappling hook, you're flying around, everything, they just sped it up a little bit. They balanced the weapons across the board so you're not favoring certain weapons. Like in Doom 2016, the double barrel shotgun was a little OP. A lot of people tended to use that because it was like a one-shot up close to like almost everything. But this time around, all the weapons are pretty on par with damage and everything. So you're going to be switching up, especially depending on if you want a long-range weapon or a close-range weapon for different types of engagements, etc., etc. And the demons looked grosser, more grotesque, more outrageous. The final boss, he's just falling apart. Literally, when you're fighting him, it's like flesh and guts and blood and stuff's falling off his body. It was super sick. The soundtrack's amazing. It just gets you in a trance. You're just like, just ripping and shredding demons apart. I loved it. I made a review of it on the channel, and it's just a good old fucking time.
Number 2.
Paper Mario, the Origami King. I know, I already see the pitchforks. I see them. You're ready to crucify me and destroy everything I love. I know, I see it. And trust me, I'm right there with you. Classic JRPGs are my favorite. I wish Paper Mario would go back to being an RPG, but that's just not the world we live in, and it's not going to be the world we live in ever again, clearly, right? They've already just put out so many statements saying it's not happening, all right? So we have to deal with it. I didn't go into Paper Mario Origami King hoping or expecting that it was going to be an RPG. I figured it's classified as an action-adventure on Nintendo's own website, that it's going to be another action-adventure game, and it was, but the story was a little more involved this time. You got buddy partners. You actually could power up Mario by getting hearts. It made him a little stronger, gave him a little more HP. It had some really light RPG mechanics in the game, which certainly were a welcome addition. The battle system near the end of the game, they throw some really hard puzzles at you because it spins around, you have to line up the enemies, and I couldn't figure out like half of them. At the end of the game, I just felt like an idiot. The game was just like, ooh, too bad, you are a fucking dumbass. I'm just sitting there just like, well, alright. So that was kind of a letdown, but everything else was great. I liked the characters of the game. I liked the story. I liked the humor. The humor was actually really, really good. I laughed out loud multiple times playing the game. Again, I played it live on Twitch. We had a great time together playing it. I do highly recommend it as an action-adventure game, not as an RPG. If you want it to be an RPG, you will be sorely disappointed, but I do think it is a good game and a fun time and thoroughly entertaining.
Number 1.
Bugsnax. Bugsnax blew my mind. The mechanics, the in-depth storytelling, the characters, like everything was just like, oh my god, this was a treat from the heavens. It's not fucking Bugsnax, are you kidding me? Why the fuck would you think it was Bugsnax? I just told you I don't have a PlayStation. Jesus Christ, get it together, Timmy! My fifth and final game of the year is Mario 3D All-Stars. And you're like, that's not 2020, Sean. I know all the games came out previously in our lifetime, but the compilation came out in 2020, so I'm counting it on a technicality. What are you gonna do? It's a compilation of 3 of the best 3D platformers all time: Mario 3D platformer, Super Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy. And I feel like if you're in the market for 3D platformers, it really doesn't get much better than this bundle, right? Mario 64, I think, is the best of the 3 personally, just because I have so much nostalgia attached to it. I've 100%ed it a million times. I feel like it controls the best. It just feels like a fun time to, like, you can play it for like a few minutes, grab some stars, and dip out. The other games feel a little more involved. Mario Galaxy is my first time playing it, and I really love how magical and whimsical and just like, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in a Mario game. Jesus Christ, Miyamoto, or whoever's responsible. This is like fucking Disney on crack in Mario Galaxy. Literally, they do the cutest, most outrageous little, like, tiny little touches to things. I'm just like, this is so nice. The music's so nice. I'm really loving Mario Galaxy. Mario Sunshine is kind of the bastard stepchild of the bunch. I think most people can agree that is the weaker of the 3, but I still do have some fun with it. There are some glitches they should have ironed out, which I think they are still going to do with patches. They have been patching the game a little bit. There are some glitches in Mario Sunshine that are kind of like, wow, you left this in the game? How would you do this, Nintendo? But all in all, it is an amazing package, and like I said, if you're in the market for a platform, I feel like it is the best thing you could get, right? I mean, like, it's 3 amazing 3D Mario games. Like, that's the pinnacle of platforming. And some honorable mentions that almost made the cut: Crash Bandicoot 4. I really liked this game a lot. I was so happy to see Crash Bandicoot coming back to form, to the an official sequel to the 3rd game. I know they said Wrath of Cortex was back then, but then they said, forget that. They even made jokes about it in the game. It just got a bit too hard for me at some points. It got hard to the point where I was frustrated playing it. And I don't want to be frustrated playing a platformer game. I want to be having fun all the way through. Obviously, you can throw some difficulty my way, but I don't want it to feel cheap and that I'm just dying because you made it way too hard because you thought that was what you needed to do. I don't know. That is the only reason why I left it off the list. It was definitely a fun game that I liked and I played all the way through, but it blew my mind sometimes how hard it was. I was like, Jesus Christ, boys, what are you doing here? And there was a lot of extra stuff thrown in there that I didn't like when you did these little side missions with these other characters, like Dingo Dial and stuff, you had to replay halfway through another level, and I just gave up doing those little side level thingies because I didn't like playing through the level again. Things like that. Obviously wasn't going to bother with getting all these gems and the time trials and stuff because you got to be insane to do that. Categoris, tip of the cap to you, buddy, because that's nuts. Another honorable mention, Pikmin 3 Deluxe. I absolutely love and adore this game so much, just not more than the 5 games I had on the list. But if you want a relaxing time where you can just sit back and solve some puzzles and go, oh my god, this is so adorable and just nice, the world is nice, everything's nice, and you want for some reason to involve yourself in slave labor, Pikmin 3 is the game for you. It is a very fun, calming, relaxing game. Lots of fun puzzles to solve. Beating bosses is very fulfilling and gratifying. You're like, wow, when you beat a boss, especially if you do it like how the game wants you to, like hitting their weak spots and doing everything in the exact right way, it just feels awesome to see that health gauge just take big chunks out of it. I like it a lot. It's fun playing through it currently on Twitch, and maybe you'll join me and we'll beat the game together. But yeah, highly recommend that as well. Let me know what your favorite games of 2020 were. Obviously, I missed a ton of games. Clearly, this is just my list. Stuff that I thought was the neatest in the year. I didn't get to play so many games, obviously. I have a huge, gigantic backlog of stuff dating back years at this point that we're trying to get to. But it was a fun year for gaming. There was also some terrible stuff that happened in gaming, which I'm going to make a video about soon, maybe even tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. I hope you clicked that like button. If you made it this far and you didn't click like, you are a bastard.
So I want to say thank you to your loyalty. Thank you for your support.